Millions of years before humans, this land was a kingdom of giants, where the very ground held the stories of a lost world. The first humans arrived, nomadic hunters following herds of mammoths across a wild and unforgiving landscape. Over time, complex cultures emerged. Long before any flag, the Caddo were already building cities and ceremonial mounds that mirrored the stars. To the west, the Apaches and Comanches dominated the plains, masters of the horse and formidable warriors whose way of life was movement. But in the 16th century, the horizon brought strange ships and men seeking gold, glory, and a new world for the Spanish crown. Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca, a castaway, became the first European to cross Texas on foot, living among the tribes for nearly a decade. His journey inspired new expeditions, such as Coronado's, which crossed the Panhandle in a futile search for the cities of gold. To solidify its rule, Spain built stone missions, fortresses of faith in a hostile landscape, symbols of an expanding empire. Within them, Franciscan friars tried to convert the natives, a meeting of worlds that often resulted in tension and conflict. While Spain focused on the south, France laid claim to eastern Texas, with La Salle establishing a temporary fort, intensifying imperial rivalry. The Royal Road, the Camino Real de los Texas, was laid out, a vital route connecting missions and outposts, the lifeblood of Spanish Texas. By the late 18th century, Spanish influence began to decline, with the American Revolution and new ideas of freedom blowing in from the east. Mexico gained its independence from Spain, and Texas, along with it, became part of a new nation with an uncertain future. Seeking to populate its northern lands, the Mexican government opened its doors to American settlers, the empresarios like Stephen F. Austin. These new settlers brought with them a different culture, a different language, and, crucially, a different vision of what the land should be. Cultural and political differences between the Texan settlers and the central government of Mexico quickly turned into friction. The rise of General Santa Anna to power and his revocation of the Mexican Constitution were the final straw that ignited the flame of rebellion. The first shot was fired in Gonzales over a small cannon. The Texan response was a direct challenge: come and take it. In 1836, a small fort in San Antonio, known as the Alamo, became the birthplace of an immortal legend. Just over 200 men, led by William B. Travis, Jim Bowie, and Davy Crockett, prepared for the siege. For 13 days, they resisted the relentless assault of Santa Anna's army, a display of courage against impossible odds. The final assault came before dawn, a desperate hand-to-hand struggle until silence fell over the walls. As the Alamo fell, delegates gathered at Washington on the Brazos and declared Texas independence. But the cruelty of war continued. In Goliad, Santa Anna ordered the execution of nearly 400 surrendered Texan prisoners. News of the massacres galvanized fury. The cry of, "Remember the Alamo! Remember Goliad!" echoed across Texas. Sam Houston, commander of the Texan Army, retreated strategically, luring Santa Anna to ground of his choosing. On April 21st, near the San Jacinto River, Houston saw his opportunity. The Mexican army was vulnerable during the afternoon siesta. In a surprise attack lasting only 18 minutes, the Texan army crushed Santa Anna's forces. The battle was a decisive victory. Vengeance sealed the birth of the Republic of Texas. General Santa Anna himself was captured the next day, disguised as a common soldier. With the Treaty of Velasco, Mexico was forced to recognize Texas independence, though the border dispute continued. For nearly a decade, Texas was an independent nation, forging its identity under the Lone Star flag. Sam Houston was elected the first president, facing immense challenges: a bankrupt economy, threats from Mexico, and attacks by Comanches. The Texas Rangers were formally established, a legendary force of mounted lawmen as wild as the land they patrolled. Despite the pride in their independence, many Texans longed for the security and stability of joining the United States. In 1845, the debate ended. Texas was annexed by the United States, becoming the 28th state of the Union. The annexation, however, ignited the spark of an inevitable war against Mexico, which had never accepted the loss of the territory. The Mexican-American War redrew the map of North America, confirming possession of Texas and adding vast new territories to the United States. With peace came a new wave of immigration, including Germans, Czechs, and Poles who brought their own cultures to the Texas Hill Country. But the issue of slavery loomed like a dark cloud, and in 1861, Texas seceded from the Union to join the Confederacy. The Civil War brought more bloodshed to Texan soil, although most battles occurred far from its borders. After the war and Reconstruction, a new era began. Texas's true gold was not yellow, but the cattle moving in living rivers of horns and dust. Great cattle trails like the Chisholm Trail were opened to drive herds to northern rail markets on epic journeys. The iconic American cowboy was born, a symbol of rugged independence, courage, and frontier life. Life on the trail was harsh, marked by dangerous river crossings, sudden storms, and the constant danger of stampedes. Cattle towns like Fort Worth flourished, noisy places filled with saloons, gamblers, and lawmen trying to maintain fragile order. Outlaws like John Wesley Hardin and Sam Bass became dark legends, their stories told in whispers and ballads. Barbed wire, invented in 1874, began fencing off the open plains, signaling the end of the cowboy era and the great cattle drives. The expansion of railroads across Texas connected the state to the rest of the nation, bringing new settlers and new opportunities. The population grew exponentially, and cities like Dallas and Houston began transforming from frontier outposts into commercial centers. The Great Galveston Hurricane of 1900 was the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history, destroying Texas's most prosperous city. The city rebuilt itself, raising a massive seawall against the ocean, a testament to Texan resilience in the face of tragedy. But as one era ended, another was about to erupt beneath the surface. On a salt dome near Beaumont, a drilling team was about to make a discovery that would change the world. The ground shook, mud bubbled, and then, on January 10, 1901, black oil burst into the sky. The Spindletop Gusher launched the Texas Oil Age, a rush more frenzied and profitable than any gold rush. Men from all across the country rushed to the oil fields, creating instant boom towns that appeared and disappeared with fortune. Oil financed a new class of billionaires, the oil barons, with ambitions as vast as their lands. Companies like Texaco and Gulf Oil were born from this boom, becoming global energy giants. Cities like Houston and Dallas were transformed, with oil money funding skyscrapers piercing the sky. Texas became the largest oil producer in the United States, fueling the nation's industrialization and growing automobile fleet. The Great Depression struck Texas, but the discovery of the East Texas oil field, the largest in the world at the time, helped soften the blow. Dust came as well. The Dust Bowl devastated the Panhandle, with dust storms turning day into night and forcing many to migrate. During World War II, Texas oil was vital to the Allied war effort, fueling ships, tanks, and aircraft. The petrochemical industry flourished along the Gulf Coast, transforming oil and natural gas into plastics and chemicals. Oil wealth also financed politics. Figures like Lyndon B. Johnson rose to power, projecting Texan influence into Washington. Texas culture became synonymous with excess, from horned Cadillacs to private jets, the image of the new rich Texan. Universities like the University of Texas and Texas A&M were enriched by oil funds, becoming centers of research and education. But dependence on oil also created a boom and bust cycle, with the state's economy rising and falling alongside the price of a barrel. A new frontier, however, was being explored. A frontier not beneath the earth, but far, far above it. In 1961, Houston was chosen to house NASA's Manned Spacecraft Center. Texas was now at the forefront of the space race. From a control center in the heart of Texas, humanity planned its greatest journey, the trip to the moon. On July 20th, 1969, the world held its breath. The first word from the lunar surface was not to the world, but to Texas. Houston, the Eagle has landed. With those words, Texan soil and the surface of the moon were forever connected. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy in Dallas in 1963 cast a dark shadow over the state, a national trauma that marked the city forever. In the 1970s and 1980s, Texas music exploded onto the national scene, with Willie Nelson's outlaw country and Stevie Ray Vaughan's blues rock. The oil crisis of the 1980s hit Texas hard, forcing the state to diversify its economy beyond black gold. A new industry began to emerge: technology. Companies like Texas Instruments and Dell Computers founded in a dorm room in Austin. Austin, in particular, became a hub of technology and culture, the Silicon Hills, attracting young talent from around the world. The Texas Medical Center in Houston grew into the largest medical complex in the world, leading research in cancer treatment and heart surgery. The state's demographics also transformed, with the Hispanic population growing and deeply shaping the culture, food, and politics. Wind energy became a new frontier, with West Texas becoming a national leader in renewable energy. Today, SpaceX launches rockets from Boca Chica, renamed Starbase, writing the next chapter of space exploration from Texan soil. Texas barbecue culture, perfected over generations, has become a global culinary phenomenon, a symbol of state pride. Sports remain a passion, from Friday night football in small towns to the giant stadiums of the Cowboys and Texans. Rapid growth has also brought challenges: urban sprawl, heavy traffic, and heated debates over water and resources. The border with Mexico remains a focal point of national debate over immigration, trade, and security. From ancient nations to oil barons, from cowboys to rocket engineers, the spirit of Texas remains the same. It is a spirit of fierce independence, boundless ambition, and an unwavering belief that everything is bigger and bolder in Texas. A land that is not just a place on the map, but a state of mind, an American legend still being written.